The supplies you'll need to complete this skill include a tray with name card, 2 types of food, utensils, a plate, a water bottle, and a clothing protector bib or towel. Make sure to check off these 15 benchmarks as you go to complete this skill. A step that is highlighted in red and bold type is called a critical element step. Critical element steps are important steps that must be performed correctly in order for you to pass the skill. If you leave out a critical element step or do not perform it correctly, you will not pass the skill. Good luck!
In this video, Skill 10, we will be going through the steps to feed a client who cannot feed themselves. Before you start this skill, you'll go to your clean supply. They will have the tray set up for you. There'll be 2 items of food, a bottle of water, and a utensil to feed them with. There will also be a name card on the tray, and when you come in to ask the patient their name, you need to actually pick up the name card as you're asking your patient who they are. So coming in for this, as we usually come in and introduce ourselves by saying, "Hi, Miss Megan," we're going to change this just a bit and knock and ask them their name. In addition to that, I need to bring in hand wipes and a towel to put around our patient's neck as a clothing protector so that we don't soil their gown as we're feeding them, or their clothing as we're feeding them. You want to wipe their hands at the beginning and the end of the skill, and you need to wipe their hands for them. Don't ask your patient to do it themselves. They are allowed to hold the water to drink, but you may not ask them to hold the utensil either. So we're going to help them out in that capacity. Also, it's very important that your patient is 75 to 90 degrees while you're feeding them, and that we leave them 75 to 90 degrees for 1 to 2 hours post-feeding. So please make sure that you sit your patient all the way up to the side of the bed with their feet flat on the floor, because at this state we can't prove what degree the head of the bed is. And since we can't prove 75 degrees, we're going to take any of the guesswork out and set them up to the side of the bed. All right, so knocking. Good morning, Miss Megan. My name is Teddy. I'm your student nurse aide, and I have some lunch for you here today, if that's okay. Could you please state your full name for me?
Yes, Megan.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So I picked up the name card and asked her full name. I'm going to give her the privacy that she needs. Your bed is locked. You're in the lowest position. You've got flat on your back, and then you have your call bell right within your hand. I'm going to wash my hands, and then I'm going to come over and assist my patient to sit. We always want to take them by the hand and by the shoulder to assist them to sit. All right, Miss Megan, I'm going to uncover you here. Remember to clear her feet. Don't let her feet get trapped in the linen. We're going to go hand palm to palm, hand behind your shoulder. On the count of 3, sit up and swing your legs off the side of the bed for me. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and sit up. Feet are off. Feet flat on the floor. There's no need for shoes in this skill because we're not ambulating her, but we do want her feet flat on the floor. So I'm going to bring her over bed table just up to her. And then on the pole side of the overbed table, there is a handle. Pull it up and you can push the table down or raise it as you please to make it the right height. I'm going to place a towel around my patient's neck so that we don't soil her clothing. And then I'm going to wipe her hands before we start. Okay, Miss Megan, do you mind if I wipe your hands for you before we start? Doesn't really matter the order, just wipe it top to bottom. It very specifically says you can hold on to your hand, wipe and use it again at the end, or pitch it and get a new one as you see fit. Now, I'm going to pull a chair and sit across from my patient as I'm feeding her. So we want to sit across from our patient, looking them in the eye and making sure that they are chewing and swallowing every bite before we move on to the next bite. So starting this skill, there will be 2 items of food, a utensil, and a beverage for your patient. So 2 bites and a sip is sufficient. You must offer the patient everything on their tray with each bite, and in between each bite or sip, it's really important that you ask them if they're ready, to use that exact language, "Are you ready?" so that we can make sure we're not rushing them and aspirating them. Okay, Miss Megan, today I have some applesauce, I have some mixed fruit and I have some water. What would you like to try first?
Applesauce, please.
Perfect. Here is your applesauce. Your patient will take a bite, and then I will ask her, are you ready? Are you ready for your next bite or sip?
Yes.
You want to try some water? Yes. Perfect. So I'm going to offer her, I specifically offered her some water. And now, again, even though she just took a sip, I want to ask her if she's ready. Are you ready?
Yes.
Perfect. I still have applesauce, I have mixed fruit, and I have some water. What would you like to try?
Fruit, please.
Perfect. Here's your fruit. Perfect. And now, would you like another sip of water? Are you ready? Perfect. Go ahead and have that. And how are you feeling, Miss Megan? Are you full?
Yes.
Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to slide this right out of the way. I want to take her towel, dab her mouth to make sure you're not leaving her with anything hanging loose. And then I'm going to take my hand wipe and wipe her hand again. Now this part is really important. I often see you guys leaving your dirty supplies at the end of the bed. We want to move these out of the way to dirty utility. This goes to my hand wipe, will go to the trash. Towel goes to the dirty laundry. Please don't leave it on the tray. And then I will move the entire tray itself over to dirty utility. I'm going to come back and sort my patient out. Now this skill you want to separate in your mind from every other skill, because in every other skill we make sure our patient's tucked back in bed safely and that they are covered up. For this skill, again, I'm going to leave her sitting on the side of the bed for 1 to 2 hours for her food to digest. So Miss Megan, I'm going to give you your call bell. Please call us if you need anything. I'm going to check that you're safe. Always check safety. So your bed's locked. You're in the lowest position. Would you like your privacy reopened? All right, Miss Megan, I need for you to stay seated for 1 to 2 hours so your food can digest. If you need anything, call us. And then I want to stop. Did I do everything correctly? I will wash my hands and skill complete.